If I can compare it to something in the UK, Hassan.
The reason why I don't believe that the Israeli ends justify the means, and that's precisely the reason why I'm saying.
So why do you then say that Hamas is 1,000 times better than Israel?
Because Israel has done.
I mean, if you just compare like the death toll, I mean, it wouldn't be 1,000 times, but
on October 7, 1,000 times over to the Palestinian population. The civilian casualty.
They often tell people where they're going to bomb. I'm not defending.
I like how they fucking lower the volume of Hassan's mic whenever this guy talks.
Defending Israel. I'm not defending Israel, Hassan, but like I think that a lot of people, if you look at the facts, that's crazy.
But that's the point I'm driving home, and this is the reason why I have this conversation, because a lot of people have. Due to social conditioning, this kind of hang up where they don't want to analyze the situation in an effort to actually make sure that there's no more violence. I abhor violence.
No, just don't minimize October 7th. I mean, to compare it to, say, a British context, you could have absolutely said, and I'm sure you would be in this position, you could say, look, I have complete solidarity with the Irish Republican cause. But you don't need to have solidarity with the Irish Republican Army and what they did against the UK, killing innocent civilians. It is possible to have both thoughts in your head at the same time. You can have complete solidarity with the Palestinian people without...
This is like a whiny semantics argument where like, oh, I'm not defending Israel and I'm not disagreeing with the assertion that Hamas's actions are consequentially less harmful than Israel's actions, but like the specific way you phrase the point that we all know you're making, yeah.
Defending Hamas a single bit, and you do defend Hamas, and that's what's objectionable about your point.
I defend anti-colonial resistance movements when there are aspects of their anti-colonial resistance or their ideology.
There's nothing to defend. They kill innocent people. There's nothing to defend.
He literally just said you can defend the IRA's ideology, but not the group themselves. And Hassan said, well, I defend Hamas's anti-colonial ideology. And now he's like, well, there's nothing to defend there. This is why you don't do debates anymore. It's literally just a waste of time. Like, look, he just, as far as I'm concerned, that's the debate lost right there. Like, he just, in an effort to try to hold like a moral high ground, or to pretend that he wasn't just like broadly defending Israel or opposing anti-Israeli arguments, he took a position and then immediately contradicted it. It's such a waste of time. It's complete. It's all fake. No one believes anything except for me. I'm the only human who believes anything anymore. Everyone else is doing a bit. The IRA is unironically 10 times harder to defend than Hamas if you take a material analysis. That's genuinely, it's true. I'm not like super educated on the IRA, but like as far as I'm concerned, Hamas and Iran are fighting a war for the continued existence of human civilization against like the great Satan, Amere Israel, the Zion-Nazis. You know, the same can't really be said about the IRA. The stakes just weren't as high. Right now, the stakes are as high as they get, man. Something has to be done about Israel before they turn the fucking... They demolish the Al-Aqsa Mosque and build a third temple that's like a fucking theme park / gift shop or whatever and start World War III.
Palestinians don't defend them either. They hate them because they can kill innocent kids.
The question is this, right? The question I would present to you is this. Do you think that the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising was a condemnable act by Jewish partisans that got together and organized to fight
I don't
back?
think the situations are the same.
Of course not.
No, because
why not? At that point, the Holocaust had not been completely implemented.
Wait, well, hold on. Why does it cut here? I want to...
And we should, of course, be careful of eliding Israel and Judaism. Of course,
no, this is a different point
the only Jewish state in the world, mainly comprised of Jews, comparing them to Nazis, given that Nazis literally tried to exterminate this entire race.
As opposed to Israelis who aren't trying to commit a genocide.
Came very close to succeeding. You don't need to do that. You shouldn't do it. And it's crassly and grossly offensive for you to do so.
Always with the Zionist deference to civility, to offense. These are the people who weaponized woke one, Hillary Clinton, you know, the deep state. Whenever you have a good point, they recede from it rather than attacking you on the merits of your point. They instead engage in this like disingenuous, well, it's actually like harmful to the memory of Holocaust victims that you think it's bad that Israel's killing people today. How? In what way exactly? Well, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't mind coming across as vulgar or offensive in this regard, and maybe even hurting some people's feelings, because at the end of the day, the analysis here from my end is there is a genocide that has taken place, and it's continuing to a certain degree. I mean, even in the process of this so-called ceasefire.
What has Hamas done for Palestinians, though? Basically nothing, but keep in mind, Hamas was created by Israel. Like, straightforwardly. Netanyahu, not just him, but, you know, the state of Israel in their occupation of Gaza consistently shot down every possible option for Palestinian liberation until essentially creating a crockpot that guarantees the outcome that you form a violent resistance movement. That was the intended outcome. They wanted that outcome because they thought that Hamas would be more illegitimate and less sympathetic, which was correct. They produced a group less sympathetic than the Palestinian Authority. You know, they got what they wanted. It's just that the Israelis are so contemptible that they are losing a PR war to, unironically, a group of, like, corrupt, murderous Islamists. Like, Hamas has not done good for the Palestinian people. That's why it's such a shame Israel fucking created them in a lab, man. Again, it's like the level 1 low IQ analysis of, like, defending white supremacy by asking what black gangs have ever done for the ghetto. You're, like, so close and yet so far. The black gangs haven't done shit for the ghetto. They were created by the conditions deliberately imposed on the ghetto. Like, it was a deliberate effort economically and socially to create an economic void that would be filled by drug runners in an effort to, like, we know this is what happens. Sociology is a real thing. We know consistently if you create, like, a power vacuum and then you shoot down the legitimate attempts of, like, stabilizing yourself in that environment, whether that be through, like, steady income and work in a ghetto, or whether that be through, like, the Palestinian Authority, not to say they were perfect, but, you know, in Gaza, you create an environment where you guarantee worse outcomes. We know this. We know this. It's been this way for thousands of years. Thousands of years it's been like this. Everyone knows it. That's the goal. We knew that was Netanyahu's goal. We know for a fact that is what he wanted. So, like, it's just low IQ to blame Hamas. Hamas is what Israel getting what they wanted.
Israel has also killed approximately 4,000 people in Lebanon. The expansion and the Greater Israel Project is continuing. So the ideology is still unimpeded. The guiding principle is still unimpeded, and therefore, I find that to be I suppose what I'm getting at. Let's get more offensive than the language that I'm using, especially considering that I think at this stage there are a lot of people who want to maybe hold on to some kind of defense of Israel because they understand it to be, like you just said, the Jewish nation, the only Jewish nation. I have been unbelievably critical of Saudi Arabia and every other country that has participated in the blockade of Yemen, for example. The United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia did that with our weapons once again.
The other reason that other people might say that it's offensive, well, deeply offensive.
No engagement with anything Hasan said immediately goes back to the woke one, well, I'm offended bullshit. Just rolls right over 2 straight minutes of argument to go right back to, like, well, it hurts some people's feelings for you to say the thing that is correct. What a waste of time, man. These people are such fucking scum.
Of course, is the comfort that race in general. I think it was more so about some of the California liberals that, unlike the rest of the country, are not as we're not as activated, rather, as some of these other places where people are demanding more.
What's gay technofascism?
What I'm referencing, of course, is the comfort that they have with like what level of progressive politics that they're open to. It's not a secret that, you know,
I don't think we've seen a single clip of Louis Goodall engaging with a thing Hasan said. Like, every time we cut to a new chunk of the video, he's, like, finding a new excuse to dismiss whatever's being said.
Sam Altman, numerous Silicon Valley tech CEOs are bringing about this new techno-feudalist dystopia that we're currently living under, and they themselves are open-minded, or rather libertarian, when it comes to certain qualities, like certain civil liberties, obviously LGBTQ liberties, and maybe abortion protections. But everything else outside of that, whether it be immigrants' rights or you know, anti-black racism, Islamophobia, they will throw that by the wayside.
Louis Goodall's about to straight up ignore fucking everything he just said.
issues that they necessarily care about. And what I'm referencing there is a pink-washed version of the type of fascism that some wealthy liberals are comfortable with.
Although, again, we know what would have happened to gays under fascist regimes, don't we, Hasan?
Phenomenal. Literally had nothing to do with what he was saying. Just complete, not even a whataboutism, just like a non sequitur. Just rolled the die. It could have been he could have said anything here.
Yes, no, I think it's very dangerous. I think, well, it's the same principle behind like Jewish cooperators with the Trump administration as well. Like, this is a real warning for every marginalized group that thinks that tokens don't get spent at the end of the day. These guys are inevitably going to oppose all of these groups when there's a better opportune time. So I think we have to fight back with intersectionality and fight back fast and fight back.
Stream keeps lag. Are we having stream lagging issues? I have to like redo my OBS settings. So are we having the fucking YouTube problems again?
Hard. Is it easy to have intersectionality when you're warning about homo-fascism?
Dog, holy shit! It's actually every single response from him. I understand the bar is really fucking low right now, but it is insane to me that Hasan has garnered a reputation for being an idiot meathead when every time I see him talk to anyone else, the person he's talking to is a fucking idiot moron. Like it's a comparative thing. Like, I don't know what I'm at. Like, I'm sure, like, I think he makes bad points sometimes. Certainly I've disagreed with him and stuff. But, like, every time I see him in comparison to, like, an oppositional point, it's like, they're not even, like, trying. You know? The guy seems like whataboutism in human shape. Zionists don't even attempt to defend their ideology. They just look at you like this, etc. It's such a fucking waste of time, man. Why are we still watching this? Because it's worth remembering to an extent, and we should be happy for the fact that Zionists now in the West are too weak to do what their ideological predecessors did, the Nazis, and kill all their opponents, but they're also too weak to make arguments in favor of their positions. So they fall in the middle ground. They can't physically dominate you, and they can't rhetorically dominate you, so they defer to these whiny... Same thing with Barry Weiss and the firing of the 60 Minutes guy, whose name currently eludes me. Their first attempt to fire him was to blame him for a guy getting a paper cut when paper fell from the ceiling. That was their first attempt to get rid of a legendary journalist, a guy who's been doing, Scott, who's been doing this work for decades. Their attempt to get rid of him, they couldn't argue with him. They didn't want to look him in the eye. They're weak. They would have pissed their pants. All they could do was attempt vainly to get him on some bullshit HR fake red flag accusation. And then when it failed, they sent him out, took 4 hours, and then emailed him saying bye-bye. These are very, very weak people.
Yes, of course.
Doesn't sound very intersectional.
Well, if you think that my warnings about liberal cooperation with a fascist movement by the likes of Peter Thiel and Sam Altman is actually homophobic, I guess we can have a conversation around that. I don't think so, and neither does my audience. My entire community is queer.
When do we think the ban will be lifted, if ever? When can we actually expect to see you in the UK?
What a weird cut. That was a cut right there for sure. That was definitely a cut.